Hey Robert, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from camp. We're going to go through and talk a little bit about mechanics, kind of break it down in a few couple key spots. We like to kind of look at how you're setting up. Are you balanced? Are you creating, timing that you can reproduce? We're going to look at, how you're using your lower body as you're getting down the hill, and then we're going to look at where you are at foot strike. So once that left foot touches the ground, what are you looking like? Are you getting some energy from the hips? Are you in a nice, powerful, healthy position? Then we're going to look at how you're finishing. All right. So basically, for you, the whole key for you is going to be lower body utilizations. You're really popping your lower half open early, and you're leaking a lot of energy in the hips. The hips is where all the energy is. That's where we want to get our power from. That's just the foundation of mechanics. It's really the foundation of all sports, is that core region. So we want to try to make sure that we're using a little bit more hips, and we'll go through it and show you that off the bat. So first off, we're going to look at how you're setting up. All right. So I just want to point out one thing real quick is here you're starting from the wind up. All right, you just got to make sure that you can see here your foot's still on the rubber. All right, we obviously don't want to be on the rubber. We want to make sure we're in front. And then you can see your first one. You're in front of the rubber. So just make sure that you're in this position every time. That you're always aware that your foot's planting right in the same spot in front of the rubber. All right, not on top. Okay, so now we'll go look at, what are we doing through our leg lift. All right, so where are we at when that leg gets to its highest point? All right, so here's your highest point in your leg right here. All right, you're still staying back decently over that back foot. We'd like to see you stay back a little bit more, but what I want to show you and to pay attention to is, watch what your upper body and your gloves doing. You can see that as your leg's coming up, you start turning your front side open and that glove. All right, we want to make sure that it's not moving at all. It's right in this position the whole time through that entire leg lift. It's not going to start popping forward, because when you start popping forward, you're already unwinding your front side. All right, so this is going to cause you to leak your front side. All right, you're unwinding that, and now you're unwinding your hips. So this front leg's just going to swing down and then swing open. All right, so you can see here you're landing open. So if we can get this line here, if you're to look at from the hitter's box, you might see daylight between your back heel and your front foot. So the biggest thing with you is once you get to this position, all right, make sure you're not trying to unwind that upper half. Keep that upper half quiet. Keep this left shoulder locked in on that catcher the whole time. All right, and then you want to start your hips forward. Okay, so let's get back up to this position. Then we want to see the hips start driving forward. All right, we want to see them start going forward here and not have this front leg kind of swing open and out. All right, we want to see you get down the hill farther. Get farther down the hill. So you're starting to, this front foot starting to swing out, farther down. So maybe in this position, your leg's still right here because your hips just driving towards the plate. So you're still close. So that's going to pick you up a lot more time. Now maybe your foot might start swinging open here, and then you're going to come out and you're going to land farther down the hill. Step off about 5 to 6 shoe lengths, one over the other from the rubber, and that's about where you should be landing. Ideally at foot strike, you're going to see this angle with your legs. All right, I want you to try to get out to a position more like this. All right, just let those hips travel down the mound. Just get your body down the mound. All right, and then at foot strike, excuse me. So once that front foot first touches the ground, which is about right here, all right, you can see how you're already starting to go forward. All right, that upper body's already turned because, back at the start, we were unwinding it early. So now it's starting to turn. At this position, we want to see you still loaded up on that back side. We want to see everything back over that back hip still. All right, so just stay back, stay in that back hip a little bit. And then through release, you actually do a really good job at releasing out over your front foot. All right, so you get your head out over here. So this is good. But one of the things that this short stride and opening up early is going to cause is you're going to see this push. So you're going to see this elbow really far out in front of your body. All right, this is not only not a very powerful position, but this is loading up that elbow with more strain than that we normally would want. All right, so just the small change of you getting your body farther down the hill, your legs farther down the hill. If you're down out in this position, now that body's going to be, your head's probably going to be right about out in here, and that's going to be a little bit, basically in line with your elbow to behind it, so your elbow's not pushing that ball out. You're not leading with that elbow. You're using your body to throw and not pushing the ball with your arm. But you got the foundation there to really be good out over that front foot. So that's just something to work on, is just letting those legs get going, letting those hips get going down, and just stride down that hill and finish it out front. All right. So now let's go back and now look at what our arm's doing. What's the path of that ball doing as it's coming out of our glove? All right. So you see it. So you kind of come straight up out of the glove and forward. All right, which is fine. So a lot of times that's just kind of how it's going to be. If we tell you to drop your hand lower, that's just genetically how you like to throw the ball, and that's fine. All right. So we're watching up here. Okay, you're getting yourself in a pretty good spot. All right. Generally, we like to kind of see this elbow right around that shoulder height somewhere, with around a 90-degree angle around here somewhere. So you're within range. That looks pretty good. It's nothing that's looks like it's going to pose big threats to you. All right. A lot of times if you see guys here, or you see that elbow way up here or kind of down behind, that's going to pose some problems. But just the fact that you're just short with your lower half, that this angle, this we need to change. We need to get that body out in front of that elbow a little bit more, so just using more of that body. All right, so let's go and take a look at your next throw here. And then this one, you can really see you swing open early. Now you're breaking back here. You're really not even getting any movement down the hill. Your body's just kind of staying over that back leg the whole time. And then you can see at this position, this is your foot strike here. You're probably half of your body width right here. You're not even down the mound at all. We want to see this back foot, this back knee starting to turn over. So you need to be out back here a little bit more. All right, so it's just swinging open. So if you kind of try to visualize this position and then go back and look at this one, this first one was a whole lot better compared to that last one. So you can see how, you're still out with your upper body still out front, but at least, there's at least a decent amount of distance down the hill. And so you go back and then you look at this one, and you can see how, it's almost like a quarter shorter. All right. And so all that's doing is that's just letting that arm lag up there, and you're just losing a lot of power. All right, so we just got to get to that point where you're just using more legs. Take those hips, drive them down the hill farther. Use that lower half. As you get stronger, it's going to be a lot easier, but that's just something big to focus on. Using that lower half, using those hips to get going down the hill. Just get down the hill, all right? But other than that, it's all pretty solid, man. So hopefully you had a great time at camp, and hopefully you're having a great season, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.